Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Banana Peddler and this is Banana Peddler Show. Today I'm joined by the blackest man in Black Africa, Uncle Fred Obachi Machoka himself. Uncle, naona unakunywa uji yako. Karibu Uncle.
Asante sana.
Yes, it's good to see you. Unajua, since when we grew up, most of us wanted to be like you. Especially myself, I wanted to be like you. Although I ended up being a journalist, but I've not achieved what you have achieved. I still have a long way to go. Anyway, karibu kwa show, Uncle.
Thank you.
First of all, who is Uncle Fred Obachi Machoka before entertainment industry?
Before entertainment industry?
Yeah, before entertainment industry.
I wasn't uncle. I was just Fred Obachi Machoka, born of two Kisi parents. My mom, I can't call her by name. My dad, Matthew Obachi Machoka, and Mrs. Obachi, that is at Masabo village, Gesusu.
Tutu Masaba. Nyaribari Masaba.
Nyaribari Masaba. Between a place called Kiamokama and Gesusu. That is where I come from. I went to school in both Getacho Primary School, Nyamagesa, and then I went to a technical school called Sigalagala, then later to Meru, and became a policeman.
Retired general.
I worked in various departments of the force, and after a while I joined the advertising and broadcasting fraternity. That is where I am till now.
Yes, and before we proceed, I must give it that your gift of the gab, especially on the Queen's language, is really discombobulating. That is the right term I can use. It is really, it is really nice. So, Uncle, you are a policeman.
Yes, I was.
Why did you leave police for? How did you join entertainment industry and became a household name?
By accident, because while I was in the forces, I was in signals department, GSU actually. I realized that I had a gift in broadcasting by mistake. It wasn't my realization. It was, I participated in a radio show, a competition, where I was lucky to win a radio as a prize, as a listener. Yes. And when I went to pick my prize, the producer of the radio show said he thought I had a good voice for broadcasting.
Which year was that?
1976.
I wasn't born that.
I don't know.
That is a long time ago.
Yes, it is. So then he asked me if I could be interested in broadcasting because they were doing a commercial radio show called Sanyo Ju, Sanyo Tops. And I told him, but I'm in the forces, how can I do that? Because at that time I was serving in Northern Frontier District then, which is these days called Northeastern Province. I was in Wajir. So I told the gentleman that I could not possibly do that as a member of the force, but he insisted that I could probably record the show. And then it is broadcast in segments of a period of time. And since there was money involved, I thought, money is good. It's always good.
Especially you are a young man.
As a young man, yes. So I said, fine. And it is at that time that we started recording a segment of a 5 minutes, a 5-minute segment in the Sanyo Ju, Sanyo Tops radio show. And at the end of 1976, that was December, I remember, I resigned from the forces because I realized I could do something different.
Yeah.
That is when I joined the advertising company formally, and they allowed me to now participate more in that 30 minutes show. But unfortunately for me, and sometimes misfortunes also open doors for other people. The presenter of the show passed on. My mentor, the person I looked up to, a guy called Saidi Omari Kasongo, they used to call him SOK in VOK.
Yeah.
So he passed on. He had TB, tuberculosis then, was untreatable, unfortunately.
It was a menace by then.
So when he passed on, I was now tasked to take over the show together with a friend of mine called Mohammed Rama. And so there started my career in broadcasting. After a while, I realized I needed to go back to school because I had not trained in broadcasting, in journalism.
Yes.
So I decided to take advertising and public relations as a career. And I went back to college and graduated in that particular field of advertising and PR. And then I continued doing radio shows, commercial radio shows. I did so many. Sanyo Ju, Sanyo Tops was just one of them, which lasted for about 20 years.
Yeah, we remember it.
I did Everready Paka Power Show. I did Sportsman Sawa Hasa. I did Ugua Polena Lukozed. Greetings from Abroad by Western Union. I did many radio shows,
so
over
many.
21 radio commercially sponsored radio shows, until now when I'm doing Roga on Citizen
And it's
Radio
powerful.
and TV. Yes,
It's powerful.
yeah. I also did TV shows.
Like Music Time.
I did Music Time. I did Talk of the Town, where I interviewed people of great repute, people like Yellow Man, people like Barry White, and many other people that I interviewed. So, yes, but now I'm with the Radio Citizen.
And television too.
And television, yes, where I do Roga.
And I'm your great fan. I'm your fan number one.
Thank you.
Yeah, Uncle, people told me to ask you. Ask Uncle. I can see you uko na uji yako.
Yes.
I don't know whether this is the secret of staying young, or people were telling me, ask Uncle, how does he manage to stay that young? Because he never gets old. He's forever young.
I don't know whether I'm forever young. Frankly,
Yeah, you
I'm
are.
as young or as old as I look. I do not know whether I'm young or old, but I do know one thing. In life, you take it easy. Enjoy the short period that God has given you, because people last a maximum of, I think, 100 years, if they are lucky. My father is that lucky. He's 95 now. But many people will hang around 70 and then drop off. I was privileged to see my grandmother, who lived up to about 108, 110. She doesn't know. She didn't know. Yes.
They didn't know how to record the...
Yes. So if I last that long, I'll be happy. But there is no secret. Just believe in God. Take it easy. Don't put
A lot of
yourself
stress on
under
yourself.
stress. Let the organs that God gave you do their rightful jobs. I think this organ called the heart was there to sort of pump blood and just give you life. Don't overload it with stuff that it was not meant for it.
Yes, yes.
Okay, so remove a lot of stuff from your heart and pray.
Impurities.
Yes, impurities like hate, impurities like jealousness.
Yeah, yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
And a lot of stuff that is not meant for the heart.
That is harmful to your health.
Toa, alafu baki tuna.
And
What
then
the heart was meant to do.
yes, yes. And then I think we should, that is worth mirroring, and especially we young people, we have a lot to learn from you. But also another thing, you became a household name. But people are wondering how you managed to stay away from troubles, because even the people who call themselves celebrities nowadays, most of them are engaged in a lot of scandals. How did you manage to avoid them? Because you've never been involved in any scandal. Apart from somebody who tried to kill you like 2 or 3 times. I even nearly sent rest in peace. I thought you were dead.
Death is one very sure thing that must come.
Yes.
When you are born, the one thing that you must rest assured will happen to you is you must die.
Yes.
Okay? But there is only one force that has that particular power to remove someone from the face of the earth, and that is the Almighty God. Anybody else is useless.
I like that.
And so anybody who says that I'm dead is wasting his or her time until the Almighty says, move over. Then I'll move over. So every time they say I am dead, I don't even worry too much. I pinch myself, I realize I'm alive, and I move on. The only unfortunate thing is that they disturb my family because of family everywhere in the whole world, literally. So sometimes someone can stumble over that, information, and probably end up having an accident, wondering, oh, dad is gone, That is the only thing. So I don't worry too much about that. With regard to scandals, I don't know, and maybe I have, I don't know. But I think the terrain is difficult to navigate. That is media.
Yeah.
Because all eyes are upon you. People look at you and they evaluate you. They want you to live in a certain manner. They want you to dress in a certain manner. They want you to eat certain food. They want you to date certain people. They want you to die in certain places. They want you to wear certain clothes, drive certain cars. And when you don't do that, then sometimes you disappoint them. So these things happen, and when they happen, then even scandals can emanate from that. People, someone can just decide, Machoka amefanya hii, Machoka has done this, and then they start spreading it, and it becomes a scandal. And in this country of ours called Kenya, the more you defend yourself, the more guilty they find you. So sometimes you just let
it's better
go.
Keep quiet.
Yeah, but as far as I'm concerned, for the media people, just remember that you're just doing a job. Just like a guy who cuts the hedges, just like a cleaner in the washrooms,
It's a job
just
like
like a gardener, just like a pilot, just like great people like nurses and teachers and security personnel who don't sleep overnight so that you can sleep. You're just doing a job. Don't think that you are anything special. I don't think I'm anything special. So the more you start thinking you are something special, you start getting tempted to do certain things that are scandalous. So I think it is important that especially people in the media and people in entertainment, people who are generally known, the so-called celeb. I'm not sure I like that word.
You are more than a celeb.
Well, if you say so, but it doesn't make a difference to me. I think these people should know when the curtains drop, when the show is over, so that you can live your natural life as just another guy, as an uncle, as a father,
as a grandfather,
you know, and just relax with your family. As long as you think you are special, then you again put yourself under pressure to do certain things that probably you can't afford, things that are fake.
You live a fake life.
Yes, and then you end up in trouble.
You fall. You can fall anytime.
Yeah,
because
when people want you to drive a Lamborghini,
yes,
and you can only afford probably a tuk-tuk if you're lucky, or you can afford a matatu.
But in your case,
yes,
I can see you have a very beautiful ranch here.
Yes,
it's really very beautiful. But
okay.
Isinya.
Yes.
Isinya. Why Isinya? Because Isinya is far away from Nairobi. And how long did it take you for you to come up with all this? Because this ranch is, it seems like you've really worked hard on it. It's a beautiful one, I must say, because I can see it's green inside here, but the moment you step outside, it is very dry actually.
As at current, it is probably you can say green, but it's not easy to keep it green. As you can see down here, we are already pouring manure, mbolea, samadi ya ng'ombe, and then watering it. It is.
And it's a renowned ranch. It's a renowned ranch.
Well, I don't know if you say it. At least people come here and enjoy themselves on a weekend. We are open 24/7, literally, because we live here. But this is not abracadabra.
Hard work.
I bought this land way back, 1993.
Oh, 93.
Every single tree you see here was planted by me, including the fence. Okay, it's so it isn't like something that just happened. This place, as you have rightly said, is a jungle. Okay, not really a jungle, but it's a dry area.
Yes,
semi-arid. And when I bought it, it was literally wildlife that was existing around here. The only neighbor I remember I had was Mzee Daniel Olemuya near here, and the rest was wildlife here. And even me, brave as I am, couldn't stay here. I had to move to Kitengela, which then had like 10 shops. Even Kitengela didn't have water, didn't have electricity, we didn't have neighbors. I could see my house from Mulolongo. And so I bought again a plot and moved in there. But the reason why I came this side was not because I had money. It's because I did not have money. Okay? Because I was kicked out of my residence, where I was staying along Dennis Pritz.
By the landlord?
By landlady.
Oh.
Okay, because I remember I was paying rent of 15K per month, and then she came around on a 10th and told me from next month the rent has gone up. I asked her to how much. She said 25,000. I said, what? She said, yeah. And that is not the only thing. From next month you start paying 3 months in advance. That's quarterly in advance. So I told her, I can't afford. She said, sure, there are many people who can afford. 93. So anyway, to edit the story, because it can take you
that is how you moved on.
Several hours, I decided to move over here. When I bought this land then, it was 47,000 an acre.
47?
Yes. I took a loan from AFC and I bought several acres here.
Now it's over 10 million per acre.
I don't know. I'm not buying, I'm not selling, so I am not interested.
Oh, I've inquired already. I had interest.
So the thing is, it has been a long journey to be here.
It's not easy.
Yeah, it is not easy, but God has been gracious. I serve a living God for sure, because some of the challenges that we have had to go through with my wife to sustain this place are things that we thought were unsurmountable, but I'm glad that we managed.
And now, Uncle, there is this thing that you are known for, rumba music.
Mm-hmm.
Rumba.
Mm-hmm.
Because now you are the king of rumba. You might not know, but that is what people say. You are the king of rumba. Now, what prompted you? How did you develop your love for rumba? And when was that? What are your memories of the best rumba music, the artists you met, people like Franco? Did you ever meet them? And does your family approve of your love for rumba?
You see, my love for rumba developed way back. I remember when I was in Form 1, we had a guy called Onyango Makambo. He used to sing Congolese music like crazy. Mm-hmm. And such people, you know, I think he was a senior student. He was in Form 2 and I was in Form 1. Mm-hmm. And so we used to admire the way he was flamboyant and all. Mm-hmm. And I think the rumba bug got into me then. And even when I was in the force, because I was in the Department of Communication, Signals Department, you know. Signals Department in the police and GSU was one major department because it was communication, and communication that is coded, you know, where you speak in signals, you speak in coded. You know, we were trained in communicating in a language called Morse code. Morse code is where you hear, you know, the dashes and dots, and you convert that.
Children of nowadays don't know that.
Into words, normal words. We were trained in, you know, looking at certain holes, you know, like Braille.
Yes.
You know, where dots, you know, perforated paper.
Yes.
Which was called teleprinter language. We were trained in that. We were trained in using light. I can communicate with a torch.
With a torch?
Yes. And someone 1 mile away can look at what I'm saying with a torch and be able to decipher that.
That is interesting.
Yeah. So we used to have fun, not just in learning that kind of communication, but we used to have fun in dancing and stuff. So I think that bug that I picked in Form 1, was magnified when I continued, you know, with the communications training in the police force. All right. And I think after that, the rest is history. I've met so many rumba maestros, you know, from Franco himself, the master, Tabule, Manu Dibango, you know, Papa Wemba, Samfan Thomas, Kanda Bongo Man, Bilia Bell, Chalamuana, Fadili William, Fundi Konde, you know, all these people. I've met them, Baraka Maruka Mwinshehe, Remy Ongala, I've met
Mose Fanfan. You even hosted him the other day at Citizen, Radio Citizen.
I've hosted so many people. And, you know, not from a distance. These are people we have interacted with. We have
some of them you've been attended their burials.
Yes, I attended Tabule's burial in Kinshasa. I attended the Pendombe's burial, Papa Wemba. You know, so I don't know any rumba legend that I have not been able. Bilia Bell knows me.
Bilia Bell.
So further than me knowing them, they also know me. Yeah. I'm not bragging. I think I've been one of those lucky people to interact with these people and get to know them in a way that goes beyond their official engagement.
Yeah, and some of these Congolese musicians, they don't know English. So when they come over, especially how do you communicate, Uncle, apart from English? I heard you speak some French.
I'm not very good in French. I got to learn a bit of French when in 1990 I went to collect I went to interview Kanda Bongo Man in Paris, and I was frustrated because the people who live in France don't want to speak English. So when I came back, I felt like I needed to learn very little French, ile wanasema un peu, just to get you by. But Lingala, I speak. I learned Lingala through my friends like Samba Mapangala, Fantaki Lucas, and and the Congolese, Kina Kasongo, Akanema, and a few others, Kabila Kabanze. So, yeah, I speak Lingala, so when they get stuck,
you jumpstart them.
I jumpstart kidogo. My Lingala is not perfect, but they get to hear it, to understand it, and we converse.
Yeah, because I hear you sing it very well. Actually, when it's singing, you really
kidogo too. Yeah, So yes, I've met this, and we have been friends. Kina Madilu and other people. Now Kina Falipupa, Ferregola. These are people that we have met.
Yeah, and talk of leaders, talk of leadership. Do you have any political ambition, Uncle?
No, thank
going
you.
Forward?
No, thank you.
But
no,
why? You are a household name.
Yes.
Everyone knows you.
Yes.
That is
and from that corner to the other corner, and that corner there to that corner, I'm a president here. Here.
Yes.
In my home. I'm the chief of general staff here.
There is
I don't need anything else.
Yeah,
God has blessed me big time.
There is this guy who stays in Canada. He's called Samuel Okemo.
Yes.
The YouTube guy, I think you know him.
Yes.
This guy was telling me that if I vie with the only person who can beat me is Fred Obachi in Kisii currently as a senator. If I vie, he's vying for Senate.
Okay.
So he was saying that the only person who can beat him is only Fred Obachi. If you were to, Uncle, can't you give it a try? Because
no, thank you. I really think, frankly, I have a job that I love. Okay?
Yes.
I do this job religiously because I love it. I wake up in the morning when I'm going to work for Roga Roga and I feel I'm just going for entertainment and I get paid for it. I'm a happy man.
You don't want
my listeners are happy people with what I'm doing. I'm no longer doing what I do because I get paid. It's good to have the money, but I love doing it.
But in politics, there is free big money. You don't want that.
No, there is no free big money.
Everyone else is...
No, there is no free big money. Let me tell you, politicians don't earn a lot of money.
They con us.
They steal a lot of money. I'm sorry. Because we know the salary of the president. We know what the vice president earns. We know what governors earn.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
We know what senators earn. Members of parliament. All the way up down to MCAs. We know what they earn, but we also know what they have. Those two don't correspond.
They don't.
If they were genuinely taking their keep and leaving the rest to do what it is supposed to do, then they wouldn't be having the kind of money that we hear. When you hear a governor has got some 2 billion somewhere, you know a billion.
And when he was being elected, he did not have even 10 million in the account.
You know how many zeros are in a billion? I keep on asking myself.
9.
I don't know.
There are 9.
So I do not know how much. I mean, someone needs to explain to me, okay, what you can do to make a billion in 5 years. I really want to know. I really want to know.
No genuine salary in this country can give you a billion in 5 years. Anyway,
no, really no.
It's difficult.
Yeah?
It can't happen.
It must be a mighty tender, you know, like Safaricom relocating, and you are the only one who has that. Because when you're talking of a billion,
yes,
you are talking of a billion in your bank. In other words, you are supplying 100 million cups costing 1,000 shillings to someone. Okay? Then you get a billion. Right?
Yes.
You have to remove the cost of these cups.
Yes.
From that billion. Because if you have a tender worth 10 billion,
yes,
whatever it is you're doing, unless it is technical, it is, like an architect who will draw. If it is a tender of supply dustbins, and you get a tender of 1 billion, it means you have to remove the cost of the product that you supply.
Yes.
Which normally would be about what? 80%? Then you remove the tax. Then you remove transport. You remove rent for your offices.
Yes.
You remove a lot of other extras.
It's practically
so
impossible.
if you are supplying items worth 1 billion,
yes,
your take home, if you are lucky, should be about 50 million.
50 million shillings as your profit.
As your profit. 50 million in 10, if you get that every year, 50 million in 10 years is only 500 million.
500. But
it is yet to be a billion.
In your view, when you look at it,
boss,
from the leadership point of view, our president, is he doing enough to fight corruption? Will we ever see a big thief going to jail? Do you think the president is doing enough to fight corruption? Because the other day he said he doesn't know what to do.
I don't want to get there. I don't want to be on a war path with my president.
No, but as a citizen now.
But what I can tell you is, if the president said and meant it, and says, I do not want to see an unroadworthy vehicle on the road, there will not be an unroadworthy vehicle on the road.
I agree with you.
If he said that and meant it, because it means anybody who has an unroadworthy vehicle on the road, it doesn't matter whether he will be the president's brother, sister, mother, son, daughter, will face the full force of the law. That is all I can say. So, corruption is a major sickness in this country. I do not know how we will be able to eradicate that. But what I do know is that I have not left this, when I leave, I will not have left this country a better place for my grandchildren as when my grandfather left.
Yeah,
okay.
You've answered. You are clever. You've answered in the affirmative.
I don't know. I've just told you that I think all of us really, all of us need to find a way of fighting corruption. Let me tell you why we may never fight corruption. Even the president may never fight corruption because he's a human being at the end of the day.
Yes.
Kenyans, you guys out there, you love corrupt people. Every time you meet a guy and he is giving you money without knowing the source, all you do is to dance for that guy.
Start worshipping.
Is to call him, and in fact you use him as a benchmark. You tell people, why can't you be like Machoka? You know, every time we meet, he gives me 1,000 bob, he gives me 500,000, and yet you know Machoka's salary is 2,000 shillings. You're not asking, where is he getting all this money? It doesn't matter whether it is a mosque that is the recipient of that money, or a church, or an individual, or a school. You're just receiving money and dancing for people without even thinking. So under that pressure, if people are dancing for me, for giving them the same amount of money, so that they can dance for you too?
Yes.
Yeah. So
you'll have to go as far as even stealing.
That's right. So as we denounce corruption, we perpetuate it daily.
As citizens.
As citizens.
As common mwananchi.
If you find a guy who doesn't have any money, unaanza kusema, you know that guy Amenya, he was actually a DC.
Yes.
You know, this guy used to be a minister. Look at him now. He's in a matatu. You start
the spirit, even the people who are working, they want to end up, they want to retire.
You make him feel like he committed a crime for not stealing. Huyu jamaa alikuwa permanent secretary. Mbona hayuko kama kina nani? And the only crime we made was just to rely on his salary.
Anyway, Uncle, lastly as we go,
yes.
What is the problem with Manchester United right now? Because you are a big fan of Manchester United. I'm an Arsenal fan.
Yes.
When did you start shabikiering this Manchester United? And then and now, what is the difference? Because they seem to be undergoing a lot of problems now.
Manchester United is still a big team.
On paper.
A very big team.
Yes.
Let me tell you. There are things that you can look at and judge an institution. There is something that is called a culture.
Yes.
Alliance High School, I remember my wife used to teach there. There is a time that the principal of Alliance had to be somebody major.
Yes.
You know, a guy who has gone to the best schools and comes to head there. But I remember a time when Alliance High School did not have a graduate teacher.
Really?
As the head. And it was still number one in the country. A culture is something. You see, you're not asking me about Manchester United because it is just another team in the Premier League. You're asking me a question about Manchester United because you know what Manchester United represents.
And we will come to Shabana too.
Yes. So, Manchester United represents trophies, represents victories. It is having what they call a blip.
No,
I'm just talking.
Yes.
All right? It is having a blip, a small blip. As we speak right now, okay?
Yes.
The last Premier League team that Manchester City lost to is called Manchester United. That's a fact. Okay? Manchester United just the other day deemed Juventus. Manchester United has got the capacity to beat any team.
What happened against Man City?
They lost the other day, okay? But I'm just telling you that they are capable of beating Man City. Attitudes sometimes
Of the players.
of the players, you know, even of the coach. Sometimes you feel I've won everything. Mourinho has won everything. He has won Europa League, he has won Premier Leagues, he has won La Liga, he has won Serie A, he has won the Portuguese league. You understand? You know, he has won everything. To a point, sometimes people sit on their laurels and they say, what can they do? So it is a question of attitude. But the culture of victory is still deeply embedded in a team like Manchester United. All right? So right now, Manchester United is not doing too good. It is still Manchester United.
Yeah, like
Timu
Arsenal,
kubwa.
like team kubwa.
Yes.
Like sisi Arsenal, right now the word defeat is no longer in our dictionary. Defeat? No. Not now. What about Shabana? What is the problem
You have
with
spoken
Shabana?
too soon. Because Arsenal hasn't played any team of substance.
No, we started with, we lost the first two games.
Oh, you
Against
did?
big,
That's defeat. Just in case you...
But Uncle, what about Shabana? What is the problem with our team, local teams?
You know, Shabana...
It's only Gor Mahia and it was hammered.
I love Shabana. I love Shabana. You know, this badge. Tore Bobby was my slogan.
Yes.
Way back in the 70s when we were doing stuff, when people like Jack Mochabo, you know, Jacobo Mochabo, you know, I can't remember the boys, Henry Motego, Henry Nyandoro, you know, Tigana,
Anthony Roseki,
Salim Mabruk, you know, when the guy Bomba and others, you know, when they were really pure dynamite, Michael Koth and others.
He was the goalkeeper at Shabana.
Yes, and he converted there to start striking. So I remember Shabana Football Club with a lot of nostalgia, especially when we went to Zambia in 1987 to play Kabwe Warriors. I was there. I was a PRO for the club for a while. It's just that we got busy and stepped out. But you know what? Shabana will come back.
It's already in the national.
It will come back to the Premier League. Yeah, Shabana will come back. And I want to salute all those people who are giving Shabana support day and night. I really want to say a big thank you. I know many people who love to support Shabana, Kina Mohamed Nyaoga and others. I hope they will.
Yes.
But the people currently supporting Shabana,
Nawavulia
kofia. Respect.
And during
respect.
I remember
that
during...
is my club. Deep down my heart, I still support that club, and I hope that they come back into the Premier League.
Uncle, I remember when Shabana was Shabana, we had very competitive teams. We had Rivertex from Eldoret, we had Raymond, we had KCC, all from Eldoret. We had Kenya Titex Mill, we had Scarlet, we had Reunion, we had AFC and Gor Mahia. Will we ever have such a competitive league? Because now it's only Gor Mahia, and it was hammered the other day 4-0 by Everton.
You know what? Devolution is yet to take root. When devolution takes root, we are going to have like 47 powerful teams to reckon with. And I hope that gets to take place. Because each county, governors out there, I hope you are listening. It is a big shame if you call yourself a governor and you don't have a soccer team that goes with your county. Because soccer is the real thing. We want to hear Mandera County meeting Kwale County. We want to hear Kisii County meeting with Kitui County. You know, we want to hear stuff, inter-county games getting intensified. That is what devolution is all about.
Yes.
That's my prayer.
And we also have to give it to people like Oparanya for building very nice stadiums.
Yes.
At least people. Anyway, Uncle, it has been
the pleasure is mine.
Thank you for meeting coming. You. You know, it's a rare opportunity. Many people would want to maybe meet you, but maybe they don't know how. But they admire and respect you a lot.
I am that simple guy. You can meet me every day.
You once told me you are the happiest. You are the happiest man.
Yeah, among the top 100, the richest people in Kenya is me. Rich, not in money, not in this.
Yes.
Rich in happiness. I am among the top 100. I'm blessed. I do a job that I love at Radio Citizen and Citizen TV, Roga Roga. A job that I don't call a job. That is happiness right there. I've got a great family, my wife, and the kids who are no longer kids. I've got grandchildren, and they give me a lot of happiness. I have challenges that I'm handling. I thank
the
Almighty for all that. So I am a very happy person, and that for me is riches like you will never know.
As you close the Banana Peddler show,
I say, Banana Peddler, do your thing, man. Earn from your sweat. Forget pesa hizi kidogo kidogo watu wanakupatia. It is never free. It is free money is never free. All of you Kenyans, remember that. Anybody who gives you money na hujaomba, huyu mtu anakuhonga. Kuna kitu anataka. Just earn from your sweat. So, my people, life is difficult, but God made it difficult so that you can reflect, so that you can remember that God exists. He gives us challenges, and like they say, some of the challenges that He gives us are just to test what we are made of, that we are weak, we are creatures of God, and that we can kneel before God and make something happen. But above all, work very, very hard, because hard work gives you results. Hard work
gives you
pays.
Happiness.
Hard work gives you happiness. Most of the happiest people don't live in Lavington. Most of the happiest people don't live in Lagata, don't live in Runda. Most of the happiest people live in the ghetto. Most of the happiest people live in the slums. Most of the happiest people have one meal a day and they are happy. Look for happiness, not in this, but I'm not saying don't look for this. Look for it in a way. And when someone walks to you bragging about how rich they are, ask them, between school, after school, and where they are, what was the process of making the money that they have? If a guy can sit you down and take you through the process of how they made that money, muvulie kofia.
Asante uncle.
Asante sana.
Thank you very much.
Keep up the good work.
Yes, yes.
Keep on enlightening people. And where we go wrong, tuambie tu.
Yeah.
We are human beings after all.
I will definitely do that, uncle.
Okay.
It has been a pleasure.
Yes.